Hello, 大家好. Welcome back to Mixing with JBP. And in today's video, I'm going to share 5 tips that will help your mixes improve instantly. These are things that I've applied to my own mixing, and they will work no matter your skill level or experience. They are all mental changes that have helped me become a better mixing engineer, and I guarantee they will help you too. Number 1, have a plan. Don't dive straight in and start pulling up plugins and EQing this and saturating that. That's how you get stuck going in circles, and you start to second guess whether this EQ sounds better on the vocal or that EQ sounds better. If you don't have a goal or a destination in mind, you're gonna get lost along the way. So here's what I suggest. Before you start mixing, without touching any plugins, listen to the song from beginning to end and write down some notes, like a roadmap. Think about how the final mix should sound. Think about what characteristics the song should have. Should it sound bright, energetic, and punchy? Or should it sound chill, ambient, and warm? Now when you start mixing, you'll make better decisions and things will sound more cohesive because everything's working together. Number 2, use reference tracks. As I mentioned above, it's easy to lose sight of where you're going while mixing and to start going in circles. Just like if you're in a room that smells like shit. After a while, it doesn't smell so bad. That's why referencing is so important. It can quickly tell you what is shit in your mix, but more importantly, it can tell you when you're headed in the right direction. It gives you clues so that you don't get lost and start going in circles. In my opinion, referencing works best when you use it for big picture clues. How's the low end in my song? Do I have too much for this genre? Or how are the drums? Do they sound punchy enough? How do I know when it's too punchy for this song? Or if it's a groovy song, does my mix make me want to dance the way the reference track makes me want to dance? Although sometimes you might get inspired by something specific in the reference track, like a snare tone you really like and you try to replicate it. But overall, I think reference tracks work best when used for big picture clues. So next time you mix, try to find a few references with similar instruments to your mix and a similar genre to the song you're mixing, and I guarantee it will improve your mix quality and speed. This next tip might be the most important mental change in the whole video, and that is to mix with context in mind. The goal of mixing isn't to make one element sound good on its own, but to make that element sound good with the rest of the elements in the song. For example, if you're mixing acoustic guitar, the goal isn't to make the acoustic guitar sound good on its own. The goal is to make the acoustic guitar sound good with the vocals, and with the bass, and with the keys, and with the rest of the elements in the song. So when you're mixing this acoustic guitar, don't just listen to it. Listen to everything around it as well. How is it interacting with the other instruments? If I make the acoustic guitar fuller, does it start masking the bass? If I start boosting the mid-range, does it play well with other mid-heavy instruments like the keys or the vocals? There isn't just one right way to achieve a great mix. So I'll never say don't mix in solo ever. Just remember, all decisions in mixing, whether you're EQing something, compressing something, or saturating something, need to be made with context in mind. Plugins these days have great user interfaces. It's very easy to see what you're doing visually, but if you're not careful, that can become a limitation to your mix. For example, maybe a 12 dB boost sounds good, but visually it looks really big, so you just boost it 9 dB. Or maybe 9 dB of compression sounds good, but visually it looks like a lot, so you settle for less. Or very commonly, maybe you hear you need to cut around 600 Hertz, but when you open the EQ and look at the analyzer, you see a bump at 200, so you cut that instead. Analyzers, graphic displays, and VU meters are all great tools designed to help you, but don't let them become the limitation to your mixes. At the end of the day, the listener cannot see what you did to the kick drum. All they have is the feeling your mix gives them. And if it takes a 12 dB boost, or 9 dBs of compression, then that's what it takes to sound good. So here's a challenge for you. Try mixing with the analyzer or graphic display turned off and see how it affects your mix. I used to do that as a way of training my own ear, and I was quite surprised how it helped me become a better mixing engineer. Number 5, don't skip automation. For those who don't know, automation is the process of changing different parameters or settings throughout the song. It could be an EQ change to make the chorus brighter than the verse, or it could be a volume change to highlight a drum fill. It keeps the song interesting from section to section, or highlights different moments or transitions in the song. Automation is what takes a good mix to a great mix. No matter how good your mix sounds, if it stays the same from beginning to end, it's not as interesting or impactful as it could be. Imagine if a producer used the same sounds from beginning to end, from the verse to the chorus, the song would sound boring. Same with your mix. Think about the spaces where the vocal is not singing. Who should take the lead there? Or think about transitions into a big chorus. Is it impactful enough? Or is there enough contrast between sections? The more you think like a musician, the better your mixes will become, and automation is the secret to adding life to your mixes. So those are my 5 tips to instantly improve your mixing. Let me know in the comments below which tips you'll be adding to your workflow, or which tips have helped you in the past. If you found these tips helpful, subscribe for weekly mixing videos, and share this video with someone who might find these tips helpful too. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.